They never noticed her. Not when she was scrubbing gum off the hallway lockers. Not when she emptied the trash in the teacher's lounge. Not even when she was the last one in the building. Every night. They saw a mop. They saw the cart. They never saw her. Until the day the principal got hauled out in cuffs and everything changed. The school sign still says, Lincoln Heights High, home of the Titans. But inside, it's chaos. 2 squad cars parked out front, flashing lights, students hanging out of classroom doors, phones up, faces stunned. And there, in the middle of the hallway, surrounded by 2 uniformed officers, Principal Gerald Langston, pressed against the lockers, arms behind his back, wearing his crisp navy blazer, a Titan lapel pin still shining, but his face ashen, tight, as if he knew this day would come. Ms. Brenna Carter stands at the end of the hallway, holding a half-filled trash bag. Nobody sees her. Nobody looks at the janitor, except one officer, a young woman with an FBI windbreaker over a gray turtleneck. She locks eyes with Brenna, just for a second, then looks away. Langston's voice is sharp, but shaking. This is a mistake. I know my rights. The FBI agent says calmly, and you'll have a chance to explain them. But for now, you're coming with us. As the cuffs click shut, Ms. Carter steps quietly back into the stairwell. She exhales through her nose. Finally, 3 days earlier, Monday morning, 5:37 a.m. Lincoln Heights is silent. Too early for students, too early for teachers, but not for Brenna Carter. She arrives before dawn every day, because that's when the building speaks. Before the noise, before the lies, when the hallway floors are just wax and echo, and the only footsteps are hers. She pushes her janitor's cart down the south wing. The science hallway smells like bleach and worn textbooks. She likes it, but today, something's off. She stops in front of room 214, Mr. Halpern's chemistry room. The light is on, but Halpern never arrives before 7. She tries the doorknob, locked, then hears it. A whisper, fast, paper rustling, and something else, like the click of a phone camera. She leans forward, footsteps inside. A drawer opens, then silence. When the door finally opens, it's not Halpern. It's Principal Langston, tie slightly loosened, brows raised. Ms. Carter, you startled me. Sorry, sir. Wasn't expecting anyone in the chem room before sunup. He laughs awkwardly. Just checking in on something. She nods slowly, eyes flicking to the USB drive in his hand. He slides it into his coat pocket. Keep up the great work. And he walks off. She doesn't move, doesn't blink. Because Brenna Carter may be a janitor, but she used to be something else. If this story hooks you, hit that like button and subscribe. We tell stories where quiet people rise and truth always wins. Tuesday, the day before the arrest. Brenna Carter pushes her cart through the main office. Like always, coffee stains, leftover birthday cake in the break room, gum wrappers in the copy room, but her eyes are everywhere. She notices what others don't, like how Principal Langston always locks his office when he steps out, even for 30 seconds. Or how Coach Dunbar, who barely knows how to use email, suddenly started showing up in Langston's office with sealed manila folders. Or how the copier prints after hours, even when the building is locked. She doesn't tell anyone, because janitors aren't supposed to notice, and that's her advantage. At 7:42 p.m., she hears the noise again, from room 214. This time she doesn't hesitate. She pulls out a set of keys, real ones, not the generic building master. The emergency keys Langston gave her himself last year after a student had a panic attack in the locked restroom. She never gave them back. She slips inside. The room is dark, except for the blue glow of the smartboard, but the computer is on, and a USB is still plugged in. She reads the folder name, HR_VOL_PAYOUTS. Double clicks. Password protected. She opens the trash bin instead. Inside, a deleted spreadsheet, 2 JPEGs, one file called langstonfinal.pdf. She drags them to a folder on her flash drive, just in case. Then she hears footsteps, not from the hallway, from inside the room, from behind the counter. Working late, Ms. Carter. It's Langston again. This time, no smile. Just his voice, flat and cold. Didn't expect the cleaning crew in here tonight. She fakes a laugh. Was just collecting trash. Didn't think anyone was logged in. Langston doesn't move. Did you look at anything? No, sir. I don't snoop. Good. He walks past her, slow, to the computer. Clicks, shut down, then leans in close, too close. This room's off limits, going forward. Understood? She doesn't blink. Crystal clear. Back in her apartment. That night, Brenna opens the files on her home laptop. What she sees makes her breath catch. A ledger of unreported cash bonuses to 2 teacher names, one of whom died 2 months ago. A grainy image of a school security camera recording being emailed off-network. A personnel file marked expunged, with a student's name blacked out. And one final file. Do not print. RL incident.pdf. She clicks it. Her face drains. Next morning, she walks into the school like nothing happened. Langston nods at her. She nods back. But in her pocket is a small envelope, labeled to Federal Office, Eastern District, Boston Atten, Agent R. Linsdale. Inside, 1 USB drive, and a single typed sentence. I was quiet. You shouldn't have counted on that. Thursday morning, 9:18 a.m. Brenna Carter watches from the far end of the hallway as 2 men in dark suits speak to the front office secretary. No badges, no raised voices, but something about the way the school counselor locks her computer when they step near, she knows. 10 minutes later, the front office door closes behind them. Principal Langston's face is tight, palms flat on the desk. The FBI agents sit across from him, calm, silent, watching. Brenna doesn't linger. She doesn't need to hear it. She's already heard enough, because last night, someone called her. Blocked number. 1 word. Thanks. Click. She didn't sleep after that. She sat on her sofa, staring at the laminated photo on her fridge. A boy, maybe 14, taller than the woman standing next to him. Her nephew, Jamal, missing since 2019. Case closed as a runaway, but she never believed that. The only place Jamal ever disappeared from? Lincoln Heights High. She thought cleaning bathrooms would bring her peace. She thought quiet would keep her safe. But now, she thinks maybe silence was part of the problem. 11:45 a.m. Brenna is sweeping the courtyard when it happens. Langston storms out of the front entrance. 2 agents at his side. No cuffs, but his jaw is clenched. Sweat beads on his temple. The hallway is frozen. Students pull out phones. A teacher gasps. No one says a word. Not until Langston looks directly at Brenna Carter and says, "This isn't over." And Brenna? She just keeps sweeping, like she's done for years. 3:02 p.m. Raymond Linsdale, senior field agent, FBI Eastern District, stands outside the staff entrance of Lincoln Heights with a folder in his hand. A sealed federal folder, stamped confidential, source, internal civilian, protected. Inside are 3 documents: the payroll ledger, the deleted expunged file, a list of school access logs traced back to Langston's login, all handed over by someone with a master key and no access card. He knocks on the custodian break room door. It opens slowly. Ms. Carter? She looks up, calm, collected, still wearing her school-issued blue janitor's shirt. I'm Ray Linsdale, with the Bureau. She nods. You need more? Actually, he says, I need your help. Agent Ray Linsdale watches her closely. He's interviewed military whistleblowers, former CIA tech analysts, corporate informants, but he's never met a janitor who delivers evidence this clean or this dangerous. May I sit? He asks. Brenna gestures to the folding chair across from her. She doesn't offer coffee, doesn't speak first. He likes that. He sets the sealed folder on the table. We verified what you sent. She doesn't blink. Good. You know we've been tracking Principal Langston for 6 months, but we didn't have cause or access. Until that USB drive, Brenna folds her arms. I didn't do it for you. Then why? She hesitates. Eyes drift to the laminated photo still peeking out of her lunchbox. I had a nephew here, Jamal Carter, freshman, went missing 4 years ago. Ray nods slowly. He's heard the name. The runaway? That's what they said. You don't believe it? Brenna leans forward. I know it's not true. Jamal was smart, private, observant. He saw things, and I think someone saw him see it. Ray opens his notebook. What kinds of things? He worked after school in the office, filing, errands. Said the principal kept private files in his desk, not the server. Said Coach Dunbar had access logs that didn't match his schedule. Said a girl named Layla stopped showing up after she filed a complaint. Ray nods again. There's a second ledger, We think Jamal may have found it. Brenna's voice is sharper now. And I think Langston knew. You think he made your nephew disappear? She takes a deep breath. I think Jamal found proof. And I think Langston made sure no one ever asked where he went. 6:20 p.m. FBI Field Office. Boston Ray places the USB in a sealed evidence pouch. I want surveillance, he says. Not just on Langston, on Dunbar, Halpern, and the network administrator. His assistant frowns. A janitor gave us this? Ray just nods. And she might have just opened a case bigger than the one we thought we had. Next day, Lincoln Heights High, custodian closet. Brenna opens a floor vent behind the boiler unit. Inside is a cracked phone, old, dusty, dead. She plugs it into an adapter, waits. After 30 seconds, the screen lights up. Lock screen wallpaper, Jamal and Brenna, side by side, and 3 unsent messages. I found something in Coach's drawer. It's not just Langston. If anything happens to me, the third is cut off. Never sent. She copies everything, closes the phone, and whispers to no one, I'm not staying quiet anymore. If stories like this pull you in, hit like and subscribe. Quiet voices deserve to be heard, and justice always finds its way. Friday morning. Lincoln Heights is buzzing, but not about the homecoming dance, or football, or Spirit Week. It's about the FBI van parked discreetly near the back lot, the principal's absence, the substitute filling in, and the woman with the mop who walks through the halls like she already knows how this ends. In the staff lounge, Coach Dunbar pours coffee. His hand trembles, not from caffeine, but from fear. His phone buzzes, a number he hoped would stay buried. Unknown caller. They're coming. Clean it up. Custodian supply closet. 11:03 a.m. Brenna Carter opens the maintenance locker. She slides aside the mop bucket. Beneath it, a small blue gym bag. Inside, printed logs, folders marked L. Alvarez, and a school ID badge belonging to Layla Alvarez, age 17. Suspended 3 years ago. Reported missing 2 weeks later. Never found. Brenna hands the badge to Ray later that afternoon. He stares at it for a long time. This was sealed. Not sealed, Brenna says. Hidden. 4:45 p.m. Ray's office. Ray opens the file titled L. Alvarez, suspended student, archived, pages missing. Date of complaint, redacted. Assigned counselor, redacted. Reason, behavioral disruption. But at the very bottom, a time-stamped note. Alvarez entered admin office 5:33 p.m., escorted by security to room 103. Exited building. No record. Ray leans back in his chair. Room 103. He dials. Get me the campus map from 2019. Lincoln Heights campus map. 2019. Room 103. Basement storage. No cameras. No motion sensors. And the room? Demolished in 2020 for plumbing repairs. Ray calls Brenna. You ever been in room 103? Her answer is instant. Before they tore it down. Yeah, that's where they put the broken lockers and the kids they didn't want seen. Saturday, Brenna returns to the old access tunnel beneath the gym. She shines a flashlight across the dust-coated floor, sees a faint trail of shoe scuff marks, and on the far wall, spray-painted letters. Layla knew. She kneels, takes a photo, and says, and now so do we. But the basement wasn't the last secret they buried, not even close. Monday morning, FBI field office agent Ray Linsdale spreads the documents across the glass table. Jamal Carter's unsent texts, Layla Alvarez's missing badge, the destroyed room 103 records, the cash payouts ledger labeled volunteer bonus list, a dozen names, 7 flagged, all students, all transferred or expelled. None still enrolled. Ray's assistant enters. You asked about the network admin? Yeah? He resigned last year. No contact, no forwarding address, and the HR file is gone. Ray exhales. This isn't a payroll scandal. Then what is it? It's a cover-up. Lincoln Heights High. Boiler room. Brenna stands alone, unlocking the hatch under the water tank. Inside, a dusty file box. She doesn't open it right away. She just sits beside it, silent, remembering. She remembers Jamal showing her a small black notebook. She remembers his words. They write things down, names, codes, like a logbook. She never found the notebook, until now. It's in the box, wrapped in plastic, smudged with fingerprints. Inside, written in sharp pen strokes, Alpha, Langston, Beta, Halpern, Gamma, Dunbar, and next to each, dates, student initials, payment codes. She flips to the back. Gamma, 9/18/19, JC Room 103, status, resolved. Her throat tightens. JC equals Jamal Carter, FBI office. Same day, Ray reads the notebook. It's a trafficking pattern. They rotated students like entries in a system, Brenna says, and paid staff to file fake reasons for disappearance. Expulsion, transfer, family emergency. Ray looks up. Do you want to go public? Not yet. Why? Brenna holds up Jamal's photo. Because they think I'm still the janitor, and I'm not done cleaning. 7:15 a.m. Tuesday, Coach Dunbar arrives early, unlocks the gym office. The door's already open. Inside, on the desk, a box of files and a single envelope. He opens it. Inside, a photo of Layla Alvarez's ID, Jamal Carter's student portrait, and the phrase, handwritten, "We remember." His hands shake. Behind him, footsteps. He turns, and 2 FBI agents step in. Coach Michael Dunbar, you're under arrest. But the person pulling the strings, he wasn't on campus anymore. He was higher. Boston. Federal Office Building agent Ray Linsdale stands at the 9th floor window, reading a name he never thought he'd see. Congressman Howard Beals Committee on Education Oversight. Former school board director for Lincoln Heights School District, 2014 to 2018. Beals resigned quietly, moved up politically, but his digital signature still shows up on the 2019 funding reallocation for Lincoln Heights High. And that funding redirected $187,000 from student wellness to infrastructure improvements. Ray runs the file. 2 of the companies that handled those improvements, Shellcore, traced to Dunbar's cousin in Ohio, and Langston's brother-in-law. It was a funnel, Ray says aloud. They built a network, and Beals signed the checks. Lincoln Heights, Custodian Lounge. Brenna Carter watches a televised clip of Congressman Beals. He's giving a press interview, smiling, saying, "We must protect our schools and children. No room for corruption." She stares at the screen, face hard, jaw set. He knew. She picks up her phone. "Ray, I want to talk, but not here. Neutral location, Community Library Archive Room." Ray meets her by the shelves. She hands him a folder. Inside, a photo of Langston, Dunbar, and Beals together at a gala, captioned 2019 Lincoln Heights District Reform Fundraiser. This was supposed to be a charity, Brenna says. They created it to support at-risk youth, but they used it as a blind, moved students through the system, buried their records, silenced complaints, and laundered federal money doing it. Ray is silent. Then, "We can open a federal case, but if you want justice, the public needs to hear it. From you." Brenna looks up slowly. "You want me to speak? You're the only one who never stopped looking. You're the only one who has nothing to lose." "No," she says. "I've got something to lose." She pulls Jamal's photo from her bag. "The truth. If you believe stories like this need to be told, hit like and subscribe, because quiet heroes deserve more than silence." FBI press conference. Friday. Ray stands at the podium. Beside him, Brenna Carter, not in her janitor uniform, in a dark blouse, head high. She speaks clearly into the microphone. "My name is Brenna Carter. I worked at Lincoln Heights High School for 7 years. What I saw, what I learned, no one believed until now." The room is silent, but the world, watching. But one person still hadn't been caught, and he was watching everything unfold. Monday, Lincoln Heights High. The sign still reads, "Home of the Titans," but everything has changed. Langston, indicted. Dunbar, detained. Halpern, under investigation. And Congressman Beals, no comment, his office says, but the Bureau has the receipts. Inside the school, the energy is different. No more whispers about the janitor, because now everyone knows her name. Brenna walks the halls slowly, not with her mop, but with a notebook in hand. She's been invited back as an advisor for a new federal program launching in 6 schools across Massachusetts. Focus, whistleblower protections, student justice, transparency. Assembly Hall, Tuesday morning. All students present, every teacher in the front row, the media in the back, and standing on stage, Brenna Carter. Behind her, Agent Ray Linsdale. She steps up to the podium. The room goes still. She breathes. Some of you knew me as the one who emptied your trash, who wiped your desks, who stayed after you left, and that's okay. But now, you're going to remember me for something else. She tells them about Jamal, about Layla, about what silence costs, and what truth gives back. And then, for the first time ever, she says his name out loud to the entire school. Jamal Carter should have been here. He would have been graduating this year, and if he saw what we did today, he'd be proud, because we're not quiet anymore. The auditorium rises. Every student, every teacher, one by one, they stand. For her, for Jamal, for Layla, for every voice that was buried. 2 weeks later, Rooftop Memorial Garden. A plaque is mounted next to the Butterfly Garden in honor of Jamal Carter and Layla Alvarez. Silence protects no one. Truth protects everyone. Ray and Brenna stand together. He smiles. You still want to be called a janitor? She smiles back. Always. Even after everything? She shrugs. Some people clean floors. Some clean the truth. She walks away slowly, her keys still jingling from the old ring at her waist. One key still marked 103. She never returned it, and never will. What would you have done in her place? Drop your answer in the comments. We tell stories where quiet people rise, truth is heard, and justice feels satisfying. Subscribe for more stories that restore faith in humanity. Don't miss the next story, where courage meets redemption.